We're more connected than ever before, but somehow, we've never felt more alone. It's strange, isn't it? You can have hundreds of friends on social media, get dozens of likes on your latest post, and still feel like no one really knows you. No one truly sees you. In a world buzzing with digital noise, silence has never felt so loud. This is not just a feeling, it's a crisis. A quiet, invisible epidemic that spreads through crowded cities, busy offices, and even cozy homes. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of loneliness in the modern world, why it's happening, what it's doing to our minds and bodies, and most importantly, what we can do about it. First, let's get one thing clear. Loneliness is not the same as being alone. You can be completely alone and feel perfectly content, reading a book, walking through nature, enjoying your own company. And you can be surrounded by people, even loved ones, and still feel a hollow kind of emptiness inside. That's the real loneliness. Psychologists define loneliness as the painful feeling that occurs when our social needs are not being met. It's not about quantity, it's about quality, about meaningful connection. Dr. John Cacioppo, a pioneer in loneliness research, spent decades studying its impact. He found that loneliness isn't just an emotional state, it's a biological warning system, like hunger or thirst. When we lack connection, our brain sounds the alarm. And in today's world, that alarm is going off more than ever. Think about it. Modern life is designed for speed, not connection. We work long hours. We move to new cities for jobs or school. We interact more through screens than through real eye contact. We chase productivity, numbers, success, but forget that we're social creatures at our core. Somewhere along the way, we stopped prioritizing people. And the impact? It's massive. Loneliness has been linked to depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, immune system suppression, and even early death. Studies show that chronic loneliness can be as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But how did we get here? That's what we'll explore next. So, how did we end up here? How did a species wired for connection build a world that makes us feel so alone? Let's break it down. 1. The illusion of connection. Social media promised us a revolution in human connection. And in some ways, it delivered. You can video call a friend on the other side of the planet. You can share life updates instantly. But there's a catch. The brain doesn't register a like or a fire emoji as genuine connection. Our nervous system was shaped by millions of years of face-to-face interaction, tone of voice, facial expressions, physical presence. Without those, we're just shouting into the void and calling it communication. We scroll through curated versions of people's lives, compare ourselves silently, and rarely feel truly seen. It's not connection, it's performance. And deep down, we know it. 2. Urban isolation. Now look around your city. Towers full of people who don't know each other's names. Neighbors who nod politely in elevators but never speak. Crowded spaces that somehow feel empty. Urban design, ironically, separates us. Apartments stack us vertically, cars isolate us, and public spaces often discourage lingering or gathering. We've created environments where privacy is prioritized over community, safety over spontaneity, efficiency over empathy. 3. The myth of self-reliance. In many modern cultures, especially in the West, there's a deeply ingrained belief. You should be able to handle it on your own. We're told that needing help is weakness, that asking for support is a burden, that independence equals strength. But biologically, that's false. Humans are interdependent creatures. We survive and thrive in groups. It's how we evolved, hunting, raising children, grieving, celebrating, together. But the modern world says, do it alone. No wonder we feel so lost. 4. Work culture and business. Grind harder. Sleep when you're dead. Busy equals important. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. In this hustle culture, there's little time and less energy for real connection. When was the last time you had a slow, unhurried conversation with someone? No phone, no distractions. Most of us can't even remember. We live on deadlines and dopamine hits. Connection takes time. And time is the one thing we keep spending on everything but people. 5. Digital replacements for intimacy. Let's not forget dating apps, AI companions, and virtual friends. These tools can be helpful, no doubt, but they also risk replacing depth with convenience. Why have a tough conversation when you can just ghost? Why build trust when you can swipe to the next? We're being trained to optimize connection, not to nurture it. And that's dangerous. So here we are, hyper-connected, yet emotionally starving, productive, yet empty, seen, but not known. And while the reasons are complex, one thing is certain: this loneliness isn't just happening to us. It's being built into the systems we live in. But we're not powerless. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's not just in your head. It affects your entire body, your nervous system, even your lifespan. Let's look at what loneliness actually does to the human brain. 1. Your brain on loneliness. When you feel socially isolated, your brain activates a threat response, the same system that reacts to physical danger. Why? Because for most of human history, being alone meant being at risk. A lone individual was more likely to starve, be attacked, or die. So the brain evolved to treat social disconnection as an emergency. When loneliness kicks in, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone. Your amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes hyperactive. Your sleep gets disrupted. Your immune system weakens. In short, your brain enters survival mode. You become more alert to social threats, more sensitive to rejection, and, ironically, less trusting of others. This creates a vicious cycle. The lonelier you feel, the more guarded you become. And the more guarded you become, the harder it is to connect. 2. Cognitive effects. Long-term loneliness affects how we think. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can lead to poor memory and concentration, negative thought loops, decreased cognitive performance in older adults. Some researchers even link loneliness to higher risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. And it makes sense. The brain thrives on stimulation, on interaction, on novelty. Without meaningful conversations and emotional engagement, the brain starts to dull. 3. Physical health risks. Here's where it gets even more serious. A study published in Perspectives on Psychological Science found that loneliness increases the risk of early death by 26%. It's been associated with heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, chronic inflammation, weakened immune response. In fact, Dr. Julianne Holt-Lunstad, a leading researcher, found that loneliness may be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. 15 cigarettes a day. And yet we don't treat loneliness like a public health issue. We often dismiss it as a personal failing or just a bad mood. But it's not. It's biological. It's neurological. It's real. If loneliness is this deep, this complex, can we really fight it? The answer is yes. But not with shortcuts. Not with fake smiles or more followers. We need real strategies, rooted in what we truly need as human beings. Let's talk about what works. 1. Prioritize depth over width. In a world obsessed with numbers, followers, friends, likes, we forget something crucial. You don't need 50 friends. You need one real one. Studies show that even a single meaningful connection can dramatically reduce feelings of loneliness. One person who listens. One person you can be vulnerable with. So instead of asking, how many people like me? Ask, who really gets me? 2. Practice vulnerability. Let's be honest, being vulnerable is scary, but it's also the birthplace of connection. When you open up, you give others permission to do the same. It breaks the surface-level small talk and makes room for truth. You don't have to start with a deep trauma dump. Just say things like, I've been feeling a little disconnected lately. I could really use someone to talk to. Want to hang out? No pressure, just to chill. It might feel awkward, That's okay. Real connection often begins in awkwardness. 3. Rituals of belonging. Connection doesn't always come from grand gestures. It's built in the small rituals. A weekly coffee with a friend. Game night with neighbors. A shared walk every evening. Even texting a loved one every morning. These repeated patterns send a message to your brain. I'm not alone. I belong. Over time, these micro-moments of connection become anchors, especially during hard days. 4. Create. Don't just consume. Loneliness often thrives in passive consumption, endless scrolling, binging, lurking. But when you create, you become visible. Write something. Make music. Start a group chat. Host a dinner. Record your thoughts. Invite others to contribute. Creativity invites collaboration, and that's where real connection happens. 5. Be the one who reaches out. We all wait. We wait for someone to text first, to invite us, to notice we're struggling. But what if you were the one? Reach out first. Be the initiator. Not because it's easy, but because someone else might be feeling just as lonely and too scared to speak up. A simple message, "Hey, I was thinking of you," can save someone's day, maybe even their life. Loneliness doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means something right inside you is asking for more. More love. More belonging. More truth. And that's a beautiful thing. So here we are, living in the most connected time in human history. And yet, so many of us feel invisible, forgotten, alone. But you are not broken. You are not too much. You are not too quiet, too awkward, too emotional, too anything. You are human. And being human means needing others. When someone listens, we heal. When someone says, "Me too," we heal. When we laugh together, cry together, sit in silence together, we remember what it means to be alive. So if you're watching this right now, and feeling alone, let me say this. You matter. Your existence is not an accident. You are not meant to do this life alone. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now. There are people out there who want to know you, really know you. They're looking, just like you are. They're waiting, just like you are. Maybe, they're watching this very video too. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone you care about. And if you feel alone, leave a comment. Let's build a space where people are truly seen.